I think that our industry has to have a common vision.
It was a time that connected us to incredible things.
My name for this vision is information at your fingertips.
And 3 decades later, we find ourselves in a new era. One where access to information becomes access to expertise. From the farm to the lab, from the boardroom to the classroom, this new generation of AI is for everyone, everywhere. Now, anyone can save time with a personal assistant.
With GitHub Copilot, I'm saving about 50% of time, and that's time that I can use to do other innovative things.
Lebih cepat lah, lebih cepat tahu keadaan kolam saya gimana.
Anyone can access a personal tutor to learn new skills.
आणि त्याच्यामधून शिकायला पण भेटलं बँकिंगचं याचं. कर्ज कसं घ्यायचं, ती कशी बचत करायची, हे खूप शिकलो.
I think this technology has the potential to completely reimagine the way every single student learns in the world.
This is a new way to analyze with a personal coach.
We're going to be able to have not only productivity gains, but insights served to us near real time.
Generative AI can learn from the data to help improve the farmer productivity.
AI is unlocking creativity for us all.
Descriptions are so detailed. In my imagination, I can paint the artwork.
ಆದರೆ ಈಗಿನ ಲೆಸನ್ ಪ್ಲಾನ್ನ ನಮ್ಮ ನೀಡಿಗೆ ತಕ್ಕಂತೆ ನಾವು ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ಟೀಚರ್ಗೆ ಫ್ರೀಡಮ್ ಇದೆ.
With expertise at your fingertips, you can build what matters. Welcome to the age of AI transformation.
Good morning. Good morning. It's fantastic to be back here at Microsoft Build. Welcome to everyone here and joining us on the web. You know, developer conferences are always most exciting, most fun when there's these fundamental changes that you can sense in the air. You know, I've marked all my adult life by coming to PDCs and builds, you know, for the last 3 decades. I still remember, you know, distinctly the first time Win32 was discussed. I guess it was 91, .NET, Azure, right? These are moments that I've marked my life with. And it just feels like we're yet again at a moment like that. It's just that the scale, the scope is so much deeper, so much broader this time around, right? Every layer of this tech stack is changing. You know, from everything from the power draw and the cooling layer of the data center to the NPUs at the edge are being shaped by these new workloads, right? These distributed, synchronous data parallel workloads are reshaping every layer of the tech stack. But if you think about even going all the way back to the beginning of modern computing, say 70 years ago, there have been 2 real dreams we've had. First is, can computers understand us instead of us having to understand computers? And second, in a world where we have these ever-increasing information, that are of people, places, and things, right? So as you digitize more artifacts on people, places, and things, and you have more information, can computers help us reason, plan, and act more effectively on all that information? Those are the 2 dreams that we've had for the last 70+ years. And here we are. I think that we have real breakthroughs on both fronts. The core underlying force, one of the questions I always ask myself is like, okay, this is great. This is like maybe the golden age of systems. What's really driving it? I always come back to these scaling laws. Just like Moore's law, you know, helped drive the information revolution, the scaling laws of DNNs are really, along with the model architecture, interesting ways to use data, generate data, are really driving this intelligence revolution. You could say Moore's law was probably more stable in the sense that it was scaling at maybe 15 months, 18 months. We now have these things that are scaling every 6 months or doubling every 6 months. What we have, though, with the effect of these scaling laws is a new natural user interface that's multimodal. That means supports text, speech, images, video as input and output. We have memory that retains important context, recalls both our personal knowledge and data across our apps and devices. We have new reasoning and planning capabilities that helps us understand very complex context and complete complex tasks, right, while reducing the cognitive load on us. But what stands out for me as I look back at this past year is how you all, as developers, have taken all of these capabilities and applied them, quite frankly, to change the world around us. Right? I'll always remember this moment in January 2023 when I met a rural Indian farmer who was able to reason over some government farm subsidies that he had heard about on television using GPT-3.5 and his voice. It was remarkable, right? For me, it just brought home the power of all of this because a frontier model developed on the West Coast of the United States just a few months earlier was used by a developer in India to directly improve the life of a rural Indian farmer. The rate of diffusion is unlike anything I've seen in my professional career, and it's just increasing. In fact, earlier this month, I was in Southeast Asia. I was in Thailand, where I met a developer, and I was having a great roundtable, and he was talking to me about how he's using Phi 3 and GPT-4, and he was using Phi 3 to just optimize all of the things that he was doing with RAG. I mean, this is crazy. I mean, this is unbelievable. It had just launched a few weeks earlier, and I was there in Thailand, in Bangkok, listening to a developer talk about this technology as a real expert on it. So it's just great to see the democratization force, what we love to talk about, but to witness it has just been something. And this is, quite frankly, the impact of why we are in this industry, and it's what gives us, I would say, that deep meaning in our work. So I want to start, though, with a very big thank you to every one of you who is really going about bringing about this impact to the world. Thank you all so very much. When I think about what progress we have made even since last time we were here at Build, we've built really 3 platforms. The first is Microsoft Copilot, which is your everyday AI companion. It puts knowledge and expertise at your fingertips, helps you act on it, and we built the Copilot stack so that you can build your AI applications and solutions and experiences. And just yesterday, we introduced a new category of Copilot Plus PCs, the fastest AI-first PCs ever built. All 3 of these things are exciting platforms, but I want to start with Copilot Plus PCs. We're exposing AI as a first-class namespace for Windows. This week, we are introducing the Windows Copilot Runtime to make Windows the best platform for you to be able to build your AI applications. Yeah. What Win32 was to graphical user interface, we believe the Windows Copilot Runtime will be for AI. It starts with our Windows Copilot library, a collection of these ready-to-use local APIs that help you integrate into your new experiences all of the AI capabilities that we shared yesterday. Now, this includes no-code integrations for Studio FX, things like creative filters, teleprompter, voice focus, and much more. But of course, if you want to access these models itself, right, you can directly call them through APIs. We have 40-plus models available out of the box, including Phi Silica, our newest member of our small language family model, which we specifically designed to run locally on your NPUs on Copilot Plus PCs, bringing that lightning-fast local inference to the device. The other thing is the Copilot library also makes it easy for you to incorporate RAG inside of your applications with on-device data, right? It gives you the right tools to build a vector store within your app. It enables you to do that semantic search that you saw with Recall, but now you can, in your own application, construct these prompts using local data for RAG applications. Now, I'm so thrilled to announce as well today that we will be natively supporting PyTorch and new WebNN framework through Windows Direct ML. You know, native PyTorch support means thousands of OSS models will just work out of the box on Windows, making it easy for you to get started. In fact, with WebNN, web developers finally have a web-native machine learning framework that gives them direct access to both GPUs and NPUs. In fact, last night I was playing with it, turning it on Edge and seeing that the WebNN sample code running. It's just so cool to see it, you know, now use even the NPUs. Both PyTorch and WebNN are available in developer preview today. Let's take a look. And these are just one of the many announcements today. We are introducing more than 50+ new products and partnerships to create new opportunity for you. We've always been a platform company, and our goal is to build the most complete end-to-end stack from infrastructure to data to tooling to the application extensibility so that you can apply the power of this technology to build your own applications. And so today I want to highlight our top news for this event across every layer of this Copilot stack. So let's dive right in with infrastructure. You know, we have the most complete scalable AI infrastructure that meets your needs in this AI era. We're building Azure as the world's computer. We have the most comprehensive global infrastructure with more than 60+ data center regions, more than any other cloud provider. Over the past year, we have expanded our data center regions and AI capacity from Japan to Mexico, from Spain to Wisconsin. We're making our best-in-class AI infrastructure available everywhere. And we're doing this with a focus on delivering our cloud services sustainability. In fact, we're on track to meet our goal to have our data centers powered by 100% renewable energy by next year. Yeah. You know, we're optimizing power and efficiency across every layer of the stack, from the data center to the network. Our latest data center designs are purpose-built for these AI workloads so that we can effectively and responsibly use every megawatt of power to drive down the cost of AI and the power draw. And we are incorporating advanced data center cooling techniques to fit the thermal profile of the workloads and match it to the environment and the location where it operates. At the silicon layer, we are dynamically able to map workloads to the best accelerated AI hardware so that we have the best performance. And our custom I/O hardware and server designs allow us to provide dramatically faster networking, remote storage, and local storage throughput. You know, this end-to-end approach is really helping us get to the unprecedented scale. In fact, last November, we announced the most powerful AI supercomputer in the cloud for training, using just actually a very small fraction of our cloud infrastructure. And over the past 6 months, we've added 30 times that supercomputing power to Azure. Yeah, it's crazy to see the scale. And of course, we're not just scaling training fleets, we're scaling our inference fleet around the world, quadrupling the number of countries where Azure AI services are available today, and it's great to see that. At the heart of our AI infrastructure are the world's most advanced AI accelerators, right? We offer the most complete selection of AI accelerators, including from NVIDIA and AMD, as well as our own Azure Maya, all dynamically optimized for the workloads. That means whether you're using Microsoft Copilot or building your own Copilot apps, we ensure that you get the best accelerator performance at the best cost. For example, you see this in what has happened with GPT-4, right? It's 12x cheaper and 6x faster since it launched. And that's, the type of progress you can, continue to see to continue to see the progress as we evolve the system architecture. It all starts, though, with this very deep partnership with NVIDIA, which spans the entirety of the Copilot stack across both all of their hardware innovation as well as their system software innovation. Together, we offer Azure Confidential Computing on GPUs to really help you protect sensitive data around the AI models end to end. We're bringing, in fact, the latest H200s to Azure later this year. And we will be among the first cloud providers to offer NVIDIA's Blackwell GPUs B100s as well as GB200 configurations. And we are continuing to work with them to train and optimize both large language models like GPT-4o, as well as small language models like the 5.3 family. Now, beyond the hardware, we are bringing NVIDIA's key enterprise platform offerings to our cloud, like the Omniverse Cloud and DGX Cloud to Azure, with deep integration with even the broader Microsoft Cloud. For example, NVIDIA recently announced that their DGX Cloud integrates natively with Microsoft Fabric. That means you can train those models using DGX Cloud with the full access to Fabric data. And Omniverse APIs will be available first on Azure for developers to build their industrial AI solutions. We're also working with NVIDIA, NIM industry-specific developer services and making them fantastic on Azure. So a lot of exciting work with NVIDIA. Now, coming to AMD, I am really excited to share that we are the first cloud to deliver general availability of VMs based on AMD AMI 300X AI accelerator. It's a big milestone for both AMD and Microsoft. We've been working at it for a while, and it's great to see that today, as we speak, it offers the best price performance on GPT-4 inference. And we'll continue to move forward with Azure Maya. In fact, our first clusters are live, and soon, if you're using Copilot or one of the Azure OpenAI services, some of your prompts will be served using Maya hardware. Now, beyond AI, our end-to-end systems optimization also makes cloud-native apps and the development of cloud-native apps better. Right? 6 months ago is when we announced our first general-purpose ARM-based compute processor, Microsoft Cobalt. And today, I am really excited to announce the public preview of Cobalt-based VMs. Cobalt is being used for video processing and permissions management in Microsoft 365, helping power billions of conversations on services like Microsoft Teams already. And we're delivering that same ARMS-based performance and efficiencies to many customers, in fact, including Elastic, Mongo, Siemens, Snowflake, and Teradata. In our most recent benchmark data and tests, our Cobalt 100 VMs delivered up to 40% better performance than any other generally available ARM-based VM. So we are very, very excited about Cobalt getting into the market. Now let's move up the stack to the foundation models. Look, with Azure AI, we offer the broadest selection of frontier and open source models, including LLMs and SLMs, so you can choose the model that makes the most sense for your unique needs and your application needs. In fact, more than 50,000 organizations use Azure AI today. Yeah, it's great momentum. And it all starts though, with our most strategic and most important partnership with OpenAI. Just last week, OpenAI announced GPT-4o, their latest multimodal model, which was trained on Azure. It's an absolute breakthrough. It has text, audio, image, and video as input and output. It can respond and just have a human-like conversation that's fast and fluid. It can even be interrupted mid-sentence. GPT-4o is also the top-performing model on benchmarks across a variety of modalities, and it's always going to get you to the best answer. It has state-of-the-art performance at understanding the information you actually provide in your prompt, because that's really what matters. What OpenAI demoed last week, I mean, that was just pretty magical stuff. And yesterday, we showed how Copilot will leverage GPT-4o. In the video I'm just going to play, notice that you can share your screen or session as a prompt in Copilot and have Copilot help you in whatever it is that you're doing. Let's roll the video.
Hey, Copilot, how's it going?
Hey, I'm doing great, and it looks like you're about to dive into some Minecraft. Ready to build, explore, and maybe dodge a few mobs?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to make a sword. My son plays this game all the time, and I have no idea what I'm doing.
No worries. I'm here to help you impress your son. I see you've got a crafting table in front of you, which is a great start. To craft a sword, you'll need some materials. Can you open your inventory? Just press E on your keyboard.
Yeah, do I have what I need?
Let's see. You've got some sticks, perfect for the sword's handle, but it looks like you're missing the material for the blade. You can use wood, stone, iron, gold, or diamond. Let's start by gathering some wood or stone. Shall we head out and find some resources?
Yeah, that sounds great. Oh my God, what's that?
Oh no, it's a zombie. Run. You need to get away from it fast. Either sprint away or quickly build a tower of blocks straight up to get out of its reach. If you can find a shelter or dig into the side of a hill, do it now. Just make sure it can't reach you.
All right, I think I might be safe now.
Cool. That was a close one. Great job finding shelter.
It's really cool to see that. You know, the magic here is that Copilot is your personal assistant that's helping you with any task, helping you stay, quite frankly, in the flow, in the moment, whether it's a game or a document or a line of code. And as OpenAI innovates, our promise is that we will bring all that innovation to Azure too. In fact, the same day that OpenAI announced GPT-4o, we made the model available for testing on Azure OpenAI Service. And today, I'm excited to say that it's generally available on Azure AI. You know, what this means, though, is that now we can have these groundbreaking apps that all of you can build using this capability. One of the coolest things is that now any app, any website can essentially be turned into a full multimodal, full duplex conversational canvas. Let's take a look.
All right, let me ask the agent here.
Hey, Seth, how's it going? What can I help you with today?
I am fantastic. I'm sorry, I'm in such a hurry. I'm gonna go on an overnight camping hike where we're camping all this. It's gonna be dark, cold. Should I use these shoes? It's the mountains. It's probably gonna be cold.
Great, no worries. Let me take a look. Ah, those are the Trek Star hiking sandals. While they're fantastic for summer hikes and keeping your feet cool, they might not be the best choice for cold
Oh my goodness,
mountain
okay, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Pick the best thing that I should use, and can you just add it to my cart? Just one product.
No worries. Let's go with the Trek Ready hiking boots. They're durable, provide great ankle support, and most importantly, they'll keep your feet warm in the cold mountains. I'll add them to your cart now.
Oh,
ready for checkout?
I see that. Amazing. Muchísimas gracias. Espero que me vaya bien en el campamento.
De nada, Seth. Disfruta de tu campamento y mantente caliente con esas botas. Buena suerte y diviértate en las montañas.
While Seth was Seth was in a hurry, but there you go. GPT-4o kept up with him. It's incredible. I really want to thank the OpenAI team for their partnership. and really the responsible approach to innovation, helping our industry move forward. Sam will be here, in fact, joining Kevin in a little bit to talk a lot more about what's coming, right? Because that's the exciting stuff. How do you all sample what comes next? We also we're bringing lots and lots of other models as well from Cohere and Databricks and DESI, Meta, Mistral, Snowflake, all to Azure AI. We want to support the broadest set of models from every country, every language. I'm excited to announce, in fact, we're bringing models from Cohere, G42, NTT Data, Nixtla, as well as many more as models as services, because that's the way you can easily get to managed AI models. And we all love open source too. In fact, 2 years ago at Build, we were the first to partner with Hugging Face, making it simple for you to access the leading open source library with state-of-the-art language models via Azure AI. And today, I'm really excited to announce that we're expanding our partnership, bringing more models from Hugging Face with text generation inference, with text embedding inference directly into Azure AI Studio. And we're not stopping there. We are adding not just large language models, but we're also leading the small language revolution, small language model revolution. You know, our Phi-3 family of SLMs are the most capable and most cost-effective. They outperform models of the same size or the next size up even across a variety of language, reasoning, coding, as well as math benchmarks. If you think about it, by performance to parameter count ratio, it's truly best in class. And today we are adding new models to the Phi-3 family to add even more flexibility across that quality cost curve. We're introducing Phi-3 Vision, a 4.2 billion parameter multimodal model with language and vision capabilities. It can be used to reason over real-world images or generate insights and answer questions about images, as you can see right here. Yeah. And we're also making a 7 billion parameter Phi-3 small and a 14 billion parameter Phi-3 medium models available. With Phi, you can build apps that span the web, Android, iOS, Windows, and the edge. They can take advantage of local hardware when available and fall back on the cloud when not, simplifying really all of what we as developers have to do to support multiple platforms using one AI model. Now, it's just awesome to see how many developers are already using Phi-3 to do incredible things. From Amity Solutions, the Thai company that I mentioned earlier, the ITC, which has been built a co-pilot for Indian farmers to ask questions about their crops. Epic in healthcare, which is now using Phi to summarize complex patient histories more quickly and efficiently. And another very, very cool use case is in education. Today, I'm very thrilled to announce a new partnership with Khan Academy. We'll be working together to use Phi-3 to make math tutoring more accessible. And I'm also excited to share that they'll be making Khan Amigo, their AI assistant, free to all US teachers. Let's roll the video.
You forgot already. Felt like I was in a place in my teaching career where I felt like I was kind of losing my sparkle. And I would just feel really defeated when I looked out on the classroom and I would see students that just didn't look engaged.
Teachers have an incredibly hard job, and what we think we can do is leverage technology to take some of the stuff off of their plate to really actually humanize the classroom.
By some miracle, we became a Khan Amigo pilot school.
With new advances in generative AI, we launched Khan Amigo. The point is to be that personalized tutor for every student and to be a teaching assistant for every teacher.
I started to build these more robust lessons, and I started to see my students engage.
We're working with Microsoft on these Phi models that are specifically tuned for math tutoring. If we can make a small language model like Phi work really well in that use case, then we would like to kind of shift the traffic to Phi in those particular scenarios. Using a small language model, the cost is a lot lower.
We're really excited that Khan Amigo, and especially in the partnership with Microsoft, being able to give these teacher tools for free to US teachers is going to make a dramatic impact in US education.
I think we're going to make them the innovators, the questioners. Isn't that really just why you wake up every morning, right? Because that's our future, our next generation. And to me, that's everything.
You know, I'm super excited to see the impact this all will have and what Khan Academy will do. And Sal's going to, in fact, join Kevin soon to share more. And I'm really thankful for teachers like Melissa and everything that they do. Thank you very much. You know, of course, it's about more than just models. It's about the tools you need to build these experiences. With Azure AI Studio, we provide an end-to-end tooling solution to develop and safeguard the Copilot apps you build. We also provide tooling and guidance to evaluate your AI models and applications for performance and quality, which is one of the most important tasks, as you can imagine, with all these models. And I'm excited to announce that Azure AI Studio now is generally available. It's an end-to-end development environment to build, train, and fine-tune AI models and do so responsibly. It includes built-in support for what is perhaps the most important feature, which is in this age of AI, which is AI safety. Azure AI Studio includes the state-of-the-art safety tooling, to everything from detecting hallucinations in model outputs, risk and safety monitoring. It helps understand which inputs and outputs are triggering content filters, prompt shields, by the way, to detect and block these prompt injection attacks. And so today we are adding new capabilities, including custom categories, so that you can create these unique filters for prompts and completions with rapid deployment options, which I think is super important as you deploy these models into the real world when an emerging threat appears. Beyond Azure AI Studio, we recognize that there are advanced applications where you need much more customization of these models for very specific use cases. And today, I'm really excited to announce that Azure AI custom models will come, giving you the ability to train a custom model that's unique to your domain, to your data, that's perhaps proprietary. That's same builders and data scientists who have been working with OpenAI, brought all the Phi advances to you, will work with all of you to be able to build out these custom models. The output will be domain-specific, it'll be multitask and multimodal, best in class as defined by benchmarks, including perhaps even specific language proficiency that may be required. Now let's just go up the stack to data. Ultimately, in order to train, fine-tune, ground your models, you need your data to be in its best shape. And to do so, we are building out the full data estate, right? From operational stores to analytics in Azure. We've also added AI capabilities to all of our operational stores, whether it's Cosmos DB or SQL or PostgreSQL. At the core, though, of the intelligent data platform is Microsoft Fabric. We now have over 11,000 customers, including leaders in every industry, who are using Fabric. It's fantastic to see the progress. With Fabric, you get everything you need in a single integrated SaaS platform. It's deeply integrated at its most fundamental level, with compute and storage being unified, your experience is unified, governance is unified, and more importantly, the business model is unified. And what's also great about Fabric is that it works with data anywhere, right? Not just on Azure, but it can be on AWS or on GCP or even on your on-premise data center. And today, we are taking the next step. We're introducing real-time intelligence in Fabric. Customers today have more and more of this real-time data coming from your IoT systems, your telemetry systems. In fact, cloud applications themselves are generating lots of data. But with Fabric, anyone can unlock actionable insights across all of your data estate. Let's take a look.
Introducing real-time intelligence in Microsoft Fabric, an end-to-end solution empowering you to get instant, actionable insights on streaming data. At its heart lies a central place to discover, manage, and consume event data across your entire organization with a rich, governed experience. Get started quickly by bringing in data from Microsoft sources and across clouds with a variety of out-of-the-box connectors. Route the relevant data to the right destination in Fabric using a simple drag-and-drop experience. Explore insights on petabytes of streaming data with just a few clicks. Elevate your analysis by harnessing the intelligence of Copilot in Microsoft Fabric using simple, natural language. Make efficient business decisions in the moment with real-time, actionable insights and respond to changing landscapes proactively. Allow users to monitor the data they care about, detect changing patterns, and set alerts or actions that drive business value. All your data, all your teams, all in one place. This is Microsoft Fabric.
And we're making it even easier to design, build, and interoperate with Fabric, with your own applications, right? And in fact, we're building out a new app platform with Fabric Workload Development Kit so that people like Esri, for example, who have integrated their spatial analytics with Fabric so that customers can generate insights from their own location data using Esri's rich tools and libraries right on Fabric, right? This is just exciting to see. It's the first time, where the analytics stack is really a first-class app platform as well. And beyond Fabric, we're integrating the power of AI across the entirety of the data stack. There's no question that RAG is core to any AI-powered application, especially in the enterprise today. And Azure AI Search makes it possible to run RAG at any scale, delivering very highly accurate responses using the state-of-the-art retrieval systems. In fact, ChatGPT supports with GPTs, their assistants API, are all powered by Azure AI Search today. And with built-in OneLake integration, Azure AI Search will automatically index your unstructured data too. And it's also integrated into Azure AI Studio to support bringing your own embedding model, for example. And so it's pretty incredible to see Azure Search grow over the last year into that very core developer service. Now let's go up to developer tools. Nearly 50 years after our founding as a developer tools company, here we are once again redefining software development. Right? GitHub Copilot was the first, I would say, hit product of this generative AI age. And it's the most widely adopted AI developer tools. 1.8 million subs across 50,000 organizations are using it. And with GitHub Copilot, we are empowering every developer on the planet to be able to access programming languages and programming knowledge in their own native language. Think about that. Any person can start programming, whether it's in Hindi or Brazilian Portuguese, and they bring back the joy of coding to their native language. And with Copilot Workspace, staying in your flow has never been easier. We are an order of magnitude closer to a world where any person can go from idea to code in an instant. You start with an issue. It creates a spec based on its deep understanding of your code base. It then creates a plan which you can execute to generate the code across the full repo, that is multiple files. At every point in this process, from the issue to spec to plan to code, you are in control, you can edit it. And that's really what is fundamentally a new way of building software. And we're looking forward to making it much more broadly available in the coming months. And today, we're taking one more big leap forward. We are bridging the broader developer tools and services ecosystem with Copilot for the first time. We're really thrilled to be announcing GitHub Copilot extensions. Now you can customize GitHub Copilot with capabilities from third-party services, whether it's Docker, Sentry, and many, many more. And of course, we have a new extension for Azure too, GitHub Copilot for Azure. You can instantly deploy to Azure to get information about your Azure resources just using natural language. And what Copilot did for coding, we're now doing for infra and ops. To show you all this in action, here is Neha from our GitHub team. Neha, take it away.
Thanks, Satya. GitHub Copilot gives you suggestions in your favorite editor, like here, where I'm writing unit tests. Copilot is great at meeting you where you're at, regardless of the language you're most comfortable with. So let's ask for something simple, like how to write a prime number test in Java, but let's converse in Spanish using my voice. ¿Cómo verificar si el número dado es un número primo en Java? Look at that. Gracias, Copilot. Copilot is great at turning natural language into code and back again. But what about beyond the code? With the new GitHub Copilot extensions, you can now bring the context from your connected systems to you. So now I can ask Azure where my app is deployed. I could ask what my available Azure resources are, or I could diagnose issues with my environment. And this isn't just for Azure. As Satya announced, any developer can now create extensions for GitHub Copilot, and that includes any tool in your stack, including your in-house tools, keeping you in the flow across your entire day. Actually, 75% of a developer's day is spent outside of coding, gathering requirements, writing specifications, and creating plans. Let's show how GitHub Copilot can help with that. Live on stage for the first time. So typically, my day starts by looking at GitHub issues. Looks like we want to support a rich text input for a product description. Let's open Workspace and get some help with that. Copilot interprets the intent of the issue to see what's required, and it then looks across the entire code base, and it proposes what changes should be made. This specification is fully editable, and the whole process is iterative. But actually, this looks pretty good. Copilot can now help us build a plan on how to implement this change. All right, that's a great start, but we must not forget about our documentation. So let's edit the plan and have Copilot update our README. And then we can even get Copilot's help in starting to implement the code for us. Now, this was just a simple example, but in a large enterprise code base, there are tens of thousands of files and dozens of stakeholders involved. And that means meetings, so many meetings. Workspace helps you focus on what you need to change. And by the way, as a developer, I'm always in control. I can see exactly what changes Copilot is proposing, and I can even get a live preview. All right, let's test out the input. All right, this looks great. So I can go back and I can edit my code in VS Code, or I can submit these changes as a pull request to share with my team. GitHub Copilot, Copilot extensions, and Copilot Workspace help you stay focused on solving problems and keeping you in the flow. Back to you, Satya.
Thank you so much, Neha. I mean, I'll tell you, GitHub Copilot and everything that ecosystem is doing is just bringing back a lot of fun and a lot of joy back to coding. And really, the thing about staying in that flow is, I think, what we all have dreamt for and dreamt about, and it's coming back. That brings us to the very top of the stack, Microsoft Copilot. We built Copilot so that you have the ability to tap into world's knowledge as well as the knowledge inside of your organization and act on it. Now, Copilot has had a remarkable impact. It's democratizing expertise across organizations. It's having a real cascading effect, right? In fact, it reminds me like of the very beginning of the PC era where the work artifact and the workflow were all changing. And it's just, really having broad enterprise business process impact. It's lowering, I always say this, it's lowering both the floor and raising the ceiling at the same time for anything any one of us can do. Since no two business processes are the same, with Copilot Studio, you now can extend Copilot to be able to customize it for your business processes and workflows. Today, we are introducing Copilot connectors in Copilot Studio so you can ground Copilot with data from across the graph, from Power Platform, Fabric, Dataverse, as well as you now have all the third-party connectors for SaaS applications from Adobe, Atlassian, ServiceNow, Snowflake, and many, many more. This makes the process of grounding Copilot in first and third-party line of business data just a wizard-like experience, enabling you to quickly incorporate your own organizational knowledge and data. We're also extending Copilot beyond a personal assistant to become a team assistant. I'm thrilled today to announce Team Copilot. You'll be able to invoke a Team Copilot wherever you collaborate in teams, right? It can be in Teams, it can be in Loop, it can be in Planner, and many other places. I mean, think about it, right? It can be your meeting facilitator when you're in Teams, creating agendas, tracking time, taking notes for you, or a collaborator writing chats, surfacing the most important information, tracking action items, addressing unresolved issues. And it can even be your project manager, ensuring that every project that you're working on as a team is running smoothly. These capabilities will all come to you all and be available in preview later this year. And we're not stopping there. With Copilot Studio, anyone can build Copilots that have agent capabilities and work on your behalf and independently and proactively orchestrate tasks for you. Simply provide your Copilot a job description or choose from one of our pre-made templates and equip it with the necessary knowledge and actions, and Copilot will work in the background and act asynchronously for you. Right? That's, I think, one of the key things that's going to really change in the next year, where you're going to have Copilots plus agents with this async behavior. You can delegate authority to Copilots to automate long-running business processes. Copilot can even ask for help when it encounters situations that it does not know much about and it can't handle. And to show you all of this, let's roll the video.
Redefine business processes with Copilot Studio. Create Copilots that act as agents, working independently for you. Simply describe what you want your Copilot to do. Easily configure your Copilot with the details it needs, like instructions, triggers, knowledge, and actions. Quickly test your Copilot before you deploy, and seamlessly publish across multiple channels. Watch it use memory for context, reason over user input, and manage long-running tasks. Copilot can learn from feedback to improve. And you're always in control. Put Copilot to work for you with Copilot Studio.
All around this stack is perhaps one of the most important things that we at Microsoft are doing, which is wrapping it with robust security. Security underlies our approach with Copilot, Copilot Plus PCs, Copilot Stack. We're committed to our Secure Future initiative. You'll see us make rapid progress across each of the 6 pillars of SFI. And the core design principles, right, which is secure by design, secure by default, and secure operations. You'll hear about throughout this conference, in fact, a lot more in Scott's keynote tomorrow, how it underlies everything that we build and everything that we do. So, coming to the close, I want to sort of, there are many announcements that you will hear about at Build, but I want to go back to, I think, the core of what I think why we chose to be in this industry and why we come to work every day as developers, which is the mission ultimately of empowering every person in every organization. At the end of the day, it's not about innovation that is only useful for a few. It's about really being able to empower everyone. And it comes down to you all as developers and builders of this new world. For us, it's never about celebrating tech for tech's sake. It's about celebrating what we can do with technology to create magical experiences that make a real difference in our countries, in our companies, in our communities. Already this new generation of AI is having an incredible impact, thanks to all of you, the passion you bring and the hard work you put in. And I want to leave you with this one unbelievable example of how you're all building a more accessible world, which means a lot to me, using our platform and tools. Thank you all so very much. Enjoy the rest of Build.
Audio description is something that enables me to be able to watch a program or a film and get as much out of it as everybody else who is sighted.
A white car drives down a road, hands on a steering wheel.
I see art as a collective good. I think everyone should be able to have access to art. Audio description really helps me get the full experience.
A portrait of a group of 17th century civic guardsmen in Amsterdam.
The challenge, though, is that there are limited amounts of audio descriptions being incorporated across media and entertainment.
Tech and AI have the potential to bring the blind and low vision community into the fold.
So at WPP, we really care passionately about opening up access to content to people in a way that they want to consume it. The tool that I've made is an application that allows you to upload videos, and on the other end with GPT-4 with Vision, and as your AI services, you get your video back with spoken narrations over the top.
Kitchen scene with Kat and Hellmann's mayonnaise.
This makes audio descriptions cheaper and faster. Our goal is to be able to offer this product as a service for all of our advertisement campaigns.
There are so many artworks in the Rijksmuseum. There are almost 1 million. To describe ourselves, it would have taken hundreds of years. With AI, we can do this in a matter of hours.
The subject is a male with a reddish beard and mustache. Visible brushstrokes that add texture and movement.
The first time I heard audio descriptions, it just brought me delight. It was this opportunity of, oh my gosh, I'm seen. Through the power of AI, we're able to do things only dreamt about until recently.
When we strengthen our access to culture, we strengthen the culture itself, connecting our shared humanity.